What's going on, guys? I'm the filmmaker and I love movies, and welcome back to another video, a new type of video that I'm trying out on the channel, because today I'm going to be running through every film I watched last month, November 2020. Now, I've seen many of these videos pop up, kind of like what I watched diary videos type of thing, like I've seen Movie Bug do them, Movie Worm, Alex Pitt, and I thought I'd be a very original person. I had a bright new idea and I thought, I'll do one as well. Of course, I was being sarcastic there. Those videos that those YouTubers make have actually inspired me to make my own. So here we are. Here's what I watched in the last month. This video will probably be quite long since I watched 68 films last month. Please bear in mind that I usually don't watch that many. It's just because England was in lockdown, so I was off work, and so yeah, I had a bit more time on my hands. I had the evening, Friday and Saturday evening. In fact, I had all day Saturday free. And that was different for me. So yeah, I can already tell that the editing is going to kill me on this. As I said, it's going to be a long video. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if you guys enjoy these videos enough. And because if you do, that'll make it worth it for me to do another one for what I watched in December. So yeah, without further ado, let's, stop blabbering on. Here's what I watched last month. So I kicked off the month with You Were Never Really Here by Lynn Ramsey, starring Joaquin Phoenix. And in typical Lynn Ramsey fashion, we're hooked within minutes of the film beginning. But I did feel like it was trying to be very gritty, but I just wanted more violence in it. It was focusing on how violent Joaquin Phoenix's character is, but we never actually see much of that. Then I watched Aeroplane. It was hilarious. Then I rewatched The World Is Not Enough, the Bond film, since actually it started in August. I started to revisit the Bond films since I haven't seen them in ages, so revisited The World Is Not Enough. Pierce Brosnan gives a great performance. He's a really good Bond, but he's just in not very good Bond films. Like, the best Bond film he was in was Goldeneye, obviously, but this film, yeah, it wasn't, no, it's not, no. Then I rewatched Kubrick's first film, Fear and Desire, because I am actually, last month now, should I say, is revisiting Kubrick's filmography, so I can make a definitive list of his films ranked. And of course, it wasn't good. It was incredibly dull and boring. Then I watched Election, coincidentally on the USA election day, and I thought it was really entertaining. Great performance by Reese Witherspoon and a nice kind of microcosm of the political arena. Then I rewatched Die Another Day. This is my least favourite Bond film. It used to be one of my favourite Bond films when I was younger, but you've just got really cheesy dialogue and it just feels like an attempt to be witty. And at times I thought I was watching a Johnny English film. And talking about terrible films, then I decided to rewatch Cars 2, because why not? Well, actually I do have a reason. I'm also revisiting the Pixar films to make a definitive list for that, for Soul. I don't know if I'll be able to do it before Soul gets released, but here we are. Again, another film that I loved as a kid. It's definitely a kid's film. Now when I watch it, it isn't that great. Mate is incredibly annoying. It was painful. And then I started my David Fincher kind of rewatching / watching his new films, not his new films, films that I haven't seen. So I started with Alien 3, and I was not actually going to I decided I wasn't going to watch this, but then at the last moment I thought, why not? I'll go ahead and rewatch it, because I remember I watched it for the first time a few years back and hated it, thought it was terrible. But I decided, inspiration struck, I decided to watch it again, and I actually really like this. It's a solid film, it's a good drama. I like how each Alien film, like Alien is obviously a thriller, Aliens is an action, this is a drama. Of course we know the behind the scenes drama within this, so I wish Fincher was able to give his vision, and some moments are quite dull. Then I watched the new film that was getting a lot of buzz, His House. This was just a very generic horror film. I saw reviews calling this a really great horror film. It was just really generic and full of cheap scares. I also watched Calm with Horses, and I thought it was solid. That's all I can really say on the film. It was solid. It was neither fantastic, but it wasn't terrible. Then I rewatched Killer's Kiss. I enjoyed the static shots that Kubrick did. Kubrick's photography expertise definitely shined through in here, but for a film that's only 70 minutes long, it feels a lot. a lot longer. And then I watched for the first time Seven, which I was really enthralled by, really had a profound experience with it. Really great. What can I say that hasn't already been said? Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, great chemistry, really well shot, really interesting film. I love murder mystery crime cases, and this is one of the best ones. Then I rewatched From Russia with Love, which was actually a week after it was announced that Sean Connery unfortunately passed away. That is one of my favourite Connery films as Bond, and it was nice watching it, remembering him. And on that same day I rewatched Casino Royale, one of the best Bond films. Fantastic. I haven't seen this one in a very long time, so it was really nice watching it again. Martin Campbell comes in with his no-nonsense direction. We get some really great gritty action scenes. I just thought the pre-title sequence was a tad too short. And then I watched a Kubrick film that I actually haven't seen. That's right, The Killing. Now, I thought the structure of the film was really good. I didn't know what to expect with the film. I will watch this film again, and I might like it a little more because I thought the structure was great. A lot of people say this is one of the best noir films. I just thought a few of the first scenes went on for way too long, but like I said, the structure is really great and engaging. Then I watched Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, this was the American remake of Godzilla, so about 80% of this film is just footage from the original Godzilla. In fact, the director of Godzilla is credited as director in here. You've just got like this American guy, I think he's like a reporter, kind of just overseeing the whole thing that happens in Godzilla. And there's even like a bit where the Japanese version, they're talking Japanese, and he goes to another guy and says, "Listen, my Japanese is a little rusty. Can you explain this to me, please?" So yeah, it was neither good, it was neither bad, it was just the American remake. Then I watched Buster Keaton film Our Hospitality. The prologue was actually quite serious, which I really enjoyed, but it doesn't lack in silly Buster Keaton antics. However, I didn't find it that funny. Then I watched Sawdust and Tinsel by Ingmar Bergman, which I actually spoke about in the 3 for £30 Criterion deal. In short, I really liked it. Bergman's direction is great, acting fantastic. Then I watched A Man for All Seasons, Best Picture winner. I really liked the costumes and production design, but the story didn't exactly engage me. Then I rewatched The Game, which is really good actually. I really like The Game. Michael Douglas is really good in The Game. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's a great film. Then I rewatched Quantum of Solace. Now, up until the point where I rewatched it, I was actually in my mind thinking, hey, Quantum of Solace isn't even that bad. Yeah, it is not good. The editing is, it's just not good. It's a mess. It's mainly the direction, it's all over the place, and I can see why they decided to hire Sam Mendes for the following 2 Bond films, because his direction was a lot more streamlined. Then I watched Fight Club for the first time. I know, I can't believe I haven't watched it at this point, but I watched it, I enjoyed it, I really liked the message and the meaning behind the whole film. I knew the twist going in, so that kind of took away from it. And I did actually find Edward Norton a little annoying in the film, not gonna lie. Then I watched Panic Room, a really solid thriller. Then I watched Skyfall. Now, if I wasn't an old school Bond fan, Skyfall will be my favourite Bond film. It is incredible. Need I even mention the cinematography? It's just, I mean, we all know this. It's pretty much regarded as the best Bond film, but it's not for me just because I love the 60s Bond films. But again, really good. I rewatched Zodiac. Now, every time I watch this, I've seen it like 3 times now. Each time I'm locked in and enthralled. It's just such an interesting film. You like the characters, you get caught up in this case, and I absolutely love the tagline for the film, which is, "There's more than one way you can lose your life to a killer." It's perfect. Then I watched In the Name of the Father with Daniel Day-Lewis. Again, it's Daniel Day-Lewis, he gives a good performance. Solid film. I watched Jack Reacher. The only thing I took away from Jack Reacher is I want Werner Herzog as a Bond villain. Then I rewatched Paths of Glory. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Kubrick's direction is electric. Camera work and framing are outstanding. Kirk Douglas gives a brilliant performance. If you haven't seen this, go watch it. It is a quintessential anti-war film. And that same evening, I rewatched Spartacus. I really like Hollywood Golden Age, big period piece films. This was one of them. However, it does rank quite low on my Kubrick list just because Kubrick's identity is invisible in this film. And it does go on for a little too long, but the music's nice as well. And I watched another Godzilla film. If you're wondering why I'm watching like old Japanese Godzilla films, it's because, of course, I've got the Godzilla Criterion box set, so I actually watch a Godzilla and a Buster Keaton. I try and watch both a Godzilla and Buster Keaton on a Sunday morning, which is quite nice. So I watched Godzilla Raids Again, the sequel to the original 1954 Japanese Godzilla. What did I think of it? Hey, we spend too much time with the human characters, like it is with most of these films so far, and some of the kind of, we do get our first fight with Godzilla and another creature, which was quite awesome, but it didn't go on for too long, and then the fight between the humans and Godzilla, it was really underwhelming. I watched Spite Marriage, really good Buster Keaton, it's classic Keaton, it's really funny, it's one of Keaton's best. And then I rewatched Spectre, finishing off my Bond Revisited thing. Yeah, I was either going to go into the film because I didn't really know what I thought of it. I remember it was the first Bond film I watched in cinema, but I went into it and I thought I could either love this or I could either hate it, and I leaned to more love, but I didn't love it. It was just a really solid Bond film. I do admit it does have pretty big flaws. Blofeld, it's stupid, but it's really well made, and it's really great and entertaining. Then I started with the noir films, so I watched Crisscross, and yeah, it was a solid noir. There's a flashback sequence that I think goes on for a little too long and gives us a little too much information. Then I watched in my opinion, the best film of the year so far. It is Steve McQueen's Mangrove. This film, it has you boiling with, you know, furious anger of what the injustice that's happening to these people. But then again, there's bits of, you know, you're laughing with them. All I can really say on this film is, Aaron Sorkin, take note. It's just a far better version of The Trial of the Chicago 7. Then I watched Lolita, another Kubrick film that I haven't seen. Trust me, I've seen every Kubrick film now. And yeah, Lolita is really, really good. Kubrick's direction is smooth, he lets the actors act, there's lots of really great long takes, and the music is really good as well. Another Kubrick film, we have Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. Every time I watch this film, I think I enjoy it a little more, I laugh a little more. I think it went over my head the first time I watched it, but now I'm actually laughing at the jokes. Peter Sellers is golden, and he was also really golden in Lolita as well. He's just a great actor, really funny. Then I watched The Blues Brothers. I saw it was leaving on Netflix, a lot of people watch it, so I thought, hey, I'll give it a watch. I mean, Carrie Fisher was completely wasted in the film. Then I watched The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and I thought it was solid. The script needed a bit of trimming, but Brad Pitt is really great in the film. I find these films that kind of look back on someone's life, where you've got this old person telling their story of their life and things, really relaxing actually. And yeah, it was just a relaxing watch. Then I watched Tootsie, which is kind of a classic New York 80s Dustin Hoffman comedy. And it was funny. In fact, there was a laugh out loud moment in the film, which I didn't expect, but yeah, it's just a good time. Rewatched 2001: A Space Odyssey. What more do I have to say? It's one of my favourite films of all time. Best Kubrick film, moving on. Rewatched The Social Network, and each time I watch it, the pacing is just perfect. I did actually in my Letterboxd review kind of admit, listen, here's a little thing that I don't really like, and that's kind of, they give Mark Zuckerberg a motivation to create Facebook, which is to do with his ex-girlfriend, and I know that if they didn't include that in the film, then they kind of needed that to propel the script forward, but still, nonetheless, it's Fincher's best film. Then I watched King Kong, the Peter Jackson King Kong. That was way too long. Then I watched Lion, which is really well made, and it's, again, a really nice film. You kind of get behind the character, you really want him to succeed, trying to find his mum and his brother. But yeah, it's a really well made film. I rewatched Monsters University, apparently one of weaker Pixar film, but I really liked it. It was really funny. I could really get behind Mike. I kind of related to the film as well. It's a really good Pixar film. Then I watched A Clockwork Orange. Wow, it's, you know, a masterpiece. It's Kubrick. I'm saying this now. He makes 2001. And after 2001, it's just masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece. He's a genius. Watched the Buster Keaton film Go West. Typical Buster Keaton film. Didn't find it funny, really. So yeah, sorry Buster. Then I watched the second Steve McQueen Small Axe film from the anthology Small Axe. It's Lovers Rock, and it's short but very sweet. I watched the Hollywood classic Sunset Boulevard, and yeah, I feel like with these Hollywood classic films, they take me time to kind of appreciate them more. I could see what the film was trying to say. Gloria Swanson gives a really good performance, and I really like the opening where they discover something, and the way it's framed, what they discover, is really good, really classic. So yeah, I'm sure I'll revisit this film more, and I probably will end up loving it. But then again, I might just think it's solid. Then I watched The Guns of Navarone. I mean, who doesn't enjoy a good war film with a fantastic cast? David Niven, Gregory Peck, and Anthony Quinn. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes, it goes by like that. It's just a really good film. It's like The Great Escape. It's a really classic 60s war film. Again, like I said, with a great cast. Rewatched the Star Wars Clone Wars film because I'm actually attempting to rewatch the actual Clone Wars show as well, and so I thought I'd watch the film. And it's just below average. I decided to rewatch Chinatown. What can I say? The screenplay is brilliant, and I will definitely be rewatching it again because I feel like it might be, you know, a new favourite of mine. Who knows? It might just be like a really great film that I enjoy time and time again. But yeah, I will be watching this again. Then I watched The Notebook. I have one word. Torture. Then I watched The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Really great Fincher. His direction, Daniel Craig is superb in this film. Yeah, it's just a really great kind of, Daniel Craig's investigating this family and he's seeing this girl. It just really is great. It's right up my alley. It's great kind of crime Fincher. I love it. Then I watched Hillbilly Elegy, and this is a film that a lot of people have kind of been hating on. It's caused quite a bit of controversy. I actually liked the performances in the film. A lot of people didn't, but it was below average. And I watched The Raid 2, because I've seen the original Raid. Raid 2 was leaving Netflix, thought I'd give it a watch, and it's really well made. The colours are great, the reds and the blues and the greens, the violence, but it goes on for a little too long. Yeah, it's a little much. I rewatched The Third Man because I remember I watched it for the first time, wasn't a massive fan, and now I really like it. It's a great film, it's great noir. Do I even have to mention, you know, the cinematography with the Dutch angles, the shadows, post-war Vienna is such a good location for the film. It just gives it its own personality. Likewise with the music, Orson Welles is great. Moving on. I watched Lord of War with Nicolas Cage. It was okay. I watched Wolf Warriors 2 because this was in the top 100 grossing movies of all time list and I want to finish that. I'm a Letterboxd Patreon member, so they have that. Same goes for the pro members. And it was rubbish. It was just a rubbish action film. If an explosion happens on screen, we have to see it at least 3 times. I just wasted my time. And then I rewatched Gone Girl. Now, not my favourite Fincher. It's, again, really well directed by him. But in the first act, the sound mixing with some of the flashback scenes with Rosamund Pike and Ben Affleck, I could barely hear what they were saying. And I felt like maybe it was just me or something, but I've seen it twice now, and it still happens like that, so that's quite annoying. Then I watched Double Indemnity, the best noir film I have seen. It is just, it's great. It's pure noir. It's so well scripted. The dialogue, the dynamic between these two, how they do these things. I just have to watch it again. It's great. And I watched Training Day, something that I thought I was just going to call a solid film, but it's actually really quite good. I love how it takes place in just one day. The performances by Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington are great. It's got a very interesting ethical problem in here as well, where Ethan Hawke has to kind of make a decision, which I really enjoyed. Yeah, if you haven't seen Training Day, I'd recommend it. And I watched Barry Lyndon, probably one of the most beautifully shot films of all time. It's another Kubrick masterpiece. Watch it, just watch it. I know it's a 3-hour-long period piece, it's very daunting, but 3 hours goes by like that. Then I watched King Kong vs. Godzilla. And this is the film that really kicked off the Godzilla versus ... kind of craze, because this film was kind of made because Japanese audiences really loved wrestling, and so they kind of took that with Godzilla and had him fight monsters. And the fights we got were awesome, but again, it just takes too long. This was the American remake. I don't know why we didn't get the original one, the original Japanese one from Criterion Collection, but we get the American remake, so we get kind of these American news anchor people like spliced in the film, keeping us up to speed with the plot, which we don't need at all. We don't need that. It was just annoying and treated the audiences like idiots. And I watched the Buster Keaton film College. It had some funny moments. It's kind of just like the nerd versus the athlete. So yeah, it had funny moments, but it wasn't like top tier Keaton. And the final film of the month, we're here, is The Sweet Smell of Success. A really great film. It's noir, it's shot, you know, it's one of the darkest films actually to come out of the 1950s from Hollywood, both thematically and visually. I think, again, like, I don't know why it comes with these old films, but they just take me a while to kind of appreciate more, so I do think it's really good, but I think I might enjoy it more upon multiple viewings. Tell me, did you like this? That's every film I watched in November 2020. Do you think I took too long or I was too brief in talking about these films? So thank you all so much for watching. My throat is killing me now, but if you guys enjoy it, it makes it completely worth it. So yeah, let me know down below, and I will see you again in the next video. Bye.